Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo.
Hey, Bastich B here for 64K and welcome to beautiful British Columbia, Vancouver. I'm heading out to the Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo. The show's been off for a couple of years due to the pandemic, but now it's on again, so let's go check it out. And here we are again at the Anvil Centre, where this show always takes place over the last few years. It's in downtown New Westminster on Columbia Street. It's a fantastic location, absolutely beautiful out here, and it's time to head on in. And here was the beginning of the show. It's still not many people around, but it was starting to get busy already. You can see all the vendor halls and some arcades to the left. And I decided to start the hunt early. Found these awesome Apple II sealed games, a whole whack load of them. And a whole bunch of 1701 monitors to sell here. Fantastic C64 ones. This excellent model kit for these arcades. I wish I bought that. And this place has multiple levels full of stuff. On the second level is old computers and free play area, and up top is gaming competitions. It's an Amiga CD32 playing some Elite. A Pippin, don't see that often, or a Laser Active. And they had multiple bands and DJs playing throughout the day, which was pretty cool. Pimped out C64, lovely, playing Garrus with a old printer. I used to have one of those. I love the name of this game, Ski and Shoot. Gets to the point. I honestly should have picked that up. And a bunch of old Atari games, some good old Star Raiders here. Ooh, Infinite Space, that's an awesome game, so underrated. Some hard dollar Xbox original games. And a Virtual Boy if you want to test one out. Triad Stone, that's a laser active game. And the place is getting pretty busy right now, so I decided to head on out and go up to Game Deals. That's a video game shop that's literally just up the road. And these are the guys that actually put on the whole convention. And if you have a wristband from the show, you get tax-free gaming. What I mean is if you buy anything, it's tax-free for that day only, which is awesome. This place is really small, but it is jam-packed with gems. Look at all the Neo Geo stuff. Whoa. I've never actually seen a physical copy of Twisted Metal Small Brawl. That was cool to see. Tons of Saturn games here. I really wanted to buy them all. So many great RPGs on the 3DS, it's insane. Nice Genesis selection too. I picked up quite a few games here, but I'll show everything at the end. And it was time to head on back into the show. Nice little arcades set up here, even a working battle zone. One of my favorite DC games. Nice PSX import selection. Found a box of good old classic games. That was not 1995, by the way. And the only real Commodore stuff that I found there, a few VIC-20 games. And a bunch of cool pillows, homemade stuff, really cool. I wanted to get this, but I dared ask the price. I should have got this though. It's one of the few Saturn Capcom games that I don't have yet. Check out this Telstar Mutant. It's got a steering wheel, a gun, and a pedal. Wow. Some nice little old classic handheld kind of stuff. Check out some Dreamcast games. Looks like Sonic Adventure has gone up in price dramatically, unless this vendor was really expensive. Oh, Super Noah's Ark. Wisdom Tree at its best. And I'm not a huge Nintendo fan, but damn does this look appealing. I really would have loved to have got that. And they also had some DJ sets, which were really excellent. They were actually even better than the live bands, to be honest. Oh, the Bobble game, sweet goodness. Bunch of import Super Famicom games, pretty good prices. This was a bargain bin, by the way, so I don't know what Moonwalker was doing in here. I was like, if this is $10, I'll get it. Nope, 130. And that creepy furry was everywhere. I looked, felt like it was following me. Gotta get out of there. And another big bargain table. I found a box of Intellivision stuff for $2 each. And that pretty much brings this whole show to an end. I had an absolutely excellent time. And I'll definitely be back next year. And it's time to say goodbye to Vancouver. Hope to see you again in 2023.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
And wow, game deals turned out to be really excellent for me as far as my EA big box list goes. I picked up more at game deals than I did actually at the convention, at least for the stuff that I was actually looking for. I got 5 games off my list, and the first one up is called Super One-on-One Jordan vs. Bird. If you played old computer games in the 80s, you probably know the game One-on-One by Electronic Arts. It's a basketball game. This is kind of like a 16-bit update of that, and it's obviously got a lot of other extra stuff in it, not just the simple one-on-one. But this is fantastic. I actually forgot about this game. It wasn't actually on my EA list, but when I saw it there, I just had to pick it up. And next is a game that was on my list. This is PGA Golf Tour. This is the original one. I've picked up number 2 a few months ago, so that's all the ones I actually want on the Mega Drive / Genesis. This is it. Again, another excellent golf game. This is the original. These things are in such good condition. Got all the manuals and everything. And yeah, I played these games for hours, and great to have this one. Third game off the list is Powermonger. If you played like old computer games again in the early 90s or late 80s, you probably know the games by Bullfrog. They did Syndicate and all stuff like that. This is another one. I messed around with this game back in the day on the Amiga, and this is a really good conversion of it, surprisingly. For a console conversion, it's quite good. And yeah, it's like a strategy game, like a real-time strategy game, like one of those, almost like one of those God games, that kind of thing. So Powermonger. Next is Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. I used to have Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego on my Genesis and played that thing like crazy. The only thing about this version that I got yet, it hasn't got the big kind of encyclopedia instruction manual, unfortunately, but that's okay. This is one that I messed around with on my Commodore 64, played it, Where in Time. It's basically the same setup. You're kind of trying to track down Carmen Sandiego, but you're jumping through time instead of going through the world. So it's kind of like a time travel game, teaches you about history and stuff. These games are edutainment games, but I don't really see it that way. I just find them really fun to play. And another one off the list is James Pond 2. This is a codename Robocod, obviously a ripoff of Robocop. This is another game in the James Pond series, and they so this one is a side-scrolling kind of platform game. Very European in flavor, you know, that kind of style, very cutesy, really nice graphics. Another game that I messed around with very briefly in the early 90s, never really got into it, but seeing as I'm collecting EA games, I got it. Doesn't have instructions, but it's still in really excellent condition, so that's another one. Okay, so here's all the pickups from the actual show. Just before I left the show, I noticed this little box of Intellivision games in the corner, and I asked the lady how much they were. She said $2 each, complete. Couldn't believe it, so I had to pick up a few. And this first one up is called New Atlantis. This game's kind of like a kind of missile command, that kind of style. You know, things are attacking your kind of a home base thing, and you're trying to blast them out the sky. Very simplistic. This game is fully complete with instructions, cartridge, the whole thing. The next one is Lock and Chase. This is based on an arcade game by Data East, came out in the early 80s. A little bit of a Pac-Man ripoff, but it's a decent enough variation. I picked it up because it's an arcade game, so I really like that. Fully complete as well. And third is Sub Hunt. So I love submarine games. This is actually a submarine simulator, would you believe it, on the Intellivision. Never seen this before, and I mean, simulator, I use it very generously. Anyway, for $2, I'm not going to complain. And on to the rest of the pickups. This first one is a Sega Classics. This is the Mega CD version, Japanese version. This is a game they came out with for the Sega CD or Mega CD. It's like a compilation of Mega Drive Genesis games. You got Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, and Columns. Yeah, this was dirt cheap as well. It's in such excellent condition. And the only PS2 pickup was this one, the Mad Maestro. I got this for like $4 or $3. The guy's table had a sign that said all the games are half price of what their sticker price was. So yeah, I got this for about $3 or something, which is excellent. Mad Maestro complete. If you've never played this one, it's kind of a rhythm game. You're playing a symphony, that kind of thing. You got to conduct the whole symphony. It's a really lot of fun. It's got good music, and I really enjoyed this when I played it back in the day. And then I managed to get another 2 games off my EA list. First one up is the Mega Drive Genesis version of Marble Madness. I really love this arcade game. A lot of good versions of this game. This is in excellent condition. If you've never played this before, it's based on an old Atari arcade game. You got to get a marble through a bunch of mazes to get to an exit. And the final game from the show is Mutant League Football. This is another game off the list, and this game was a little bit expensive compared to everything else I bought, but I knew it was going to be. The hockey one is even more expensive, unfortunately. There's not a lot of games on that list that are super high dollar, so I'm kind of lucky. Anyway, this is one of them out of the way. This is a really cool version of American football with mutants, and you can just think of it like speedball but with football, and it's just more crazy, and you can kill dudes and blow stuff up. It's absolutely mental. It's a really good electronic arts game and a cool franchise. I wish they made more of these kinds of games. But anyway, finally got Mutant League Football.
And that ended up chopping a lot of games off my big list.
Thanks for joining me, Bastich B at 64K. I hope you had a good time. And if you can please like and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.